Yeah, well, I'm trying to find a good way to post this video without being too clickbaity, so I'm just gonna say exactly what happened. I'm not gonna put anything that's not true in the title or thumbnail, but yes, the SpaceX Twitter handle did actually DM Taylosive Space, which got me super duper freaked out. This is official. I will prove it to you now. As you can see, I'm logged into Taylosive Space here, and if we go to DMs, we have SpaceX in here, and if I tap the account, it is the official, 16 million followers, SpaceX, everything. They reached out to me first, basically very grateful that I made this tweet a couple months back saying, first time watching a Starlink mission through Starlink internet. This was when I had the router, and I even had the semi box in the background, and this is when a rocket launch was going on last March, and they were so happy with the tweet, they asked if they could show it during a webcast for an upcoming Starlink launch, and they said it's awesome how meta the tweet is. I freaked out and basically said, for sure, please do, will our Twitter handle be featured? And they said, we weren't sure we'll be featuring it, but appreciate the willingness to allow us to. It will likely be a screenshot of the tweet, but we're still in the planning phases. Thank you for your support. And I said, Godspeed. They hearted my message. And while to some of you, this is probably not a big deal or very interesting at all, but in my opinion, it was really, really cool to actually get, someone who worked at SpaceX responding. I don't know how many other people got reached out to by SpaceX, probably a bunch, but I kept watching every Starlink launch really, really closely to see if my tweet would ever get featured in the past couple months. So far, it hasn't. My guess is they've decided to go against it now, or decided that they don't want to feature tweets, so there's still a chance a Taylosive Space account might show up during a SpaceX stream, but either way, having them reach out like that was cool, and I am quite a big fan of the company as a whole. I think they've got to be in my top three, like the top three favorite brands that I cover or try to watch as much as possible would have to be Apple, Tesla, and SpaceX. Apple is pretty much the reason I think we're all here. It's the reason you're watching this right now. It's the reason I can make a living doing YouTube videos thanks to you guys, which I'm so grateful for. But I did a lot of YouTube videos before Taylosive Tech that were not about Apple, and no one really cared. So once I found that kind of community that was also into Apple, that kind of grew the network into what it is today. And with Taylosive Space, I don't really have the time in the day to make daily content on it, but in the past I have shouted out some of the great content creators that I enjoy watching. For those curious, I do watch them myself, and right now, at the time of recording this, we're watching Starship SN-15 potentially get worked on. It sounds like the flight may have potentially just gotten canceled, but they've been trying to get that rocket up into the sky for several weeks now. It's a shame that they keep running into issues, but I do try to watch those launches as closely as possible because I love seeing them land, and I think they're developing the very clear future of space travel with rocket reusability. So I'm a huge fan of the company, and I follow them very closely, and I was just very, very happy to see them reach out on that personal of a level to a Twitter account. Sorry if you guys read the title and thought this was going to be like we want you to ride on the next SpaceX mission. We want you to fly to the moon for us. Yeah, no, that's probably not going to happen. And I know there's a Dear Moon project where you can apply to actually get on board and ride around the moon with a Starship vehicle by 2023. I'm probably not going to be up for that. I think I want there to be a few thousand Starship launches and landings where everything goes perfectly before I would get on board one. But one day, I do think it would be a pretty amazing thing to visit the moon when there's like a base there and like a resort where you can play basketball, except the basketball hoops are like way high and we can jump really far there. And it's just like a vacation spot because the moon's not so far, so we could still have like internet there, and we could still have FaceTime calls and the types of things that you couldn't really have on Mars. Some people, I think, forget about that. Even if you had satellites strung between Earth and Mars, you would still be limited by like 10 to 15 minutes per direction at the speed of light, and you couldn't just come home real quick if you wanted to be done with Mars. You would have to commit to a mission being, several years, whereas moon missions, you could be there and back within a matter of a few weeks. So if you get tired with the people up there, or you just want to come home because you're homesick and you miss having, grass and pools and stuff, then yeah, you could just dart right back on a ship pretty quickly. Wouldn't be too hard to do. But how about you guys? Would you take a mission to Mars or the moon if given the opportunity? Feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.